If you want to look the best, be the best. Always present yourself in the best version. There's no two ways about it.
Every great dream starts small. A sketch, a fabric swatch, a feeling. For years, Kate Mayeye poured her heart into designs that told the African woman's story.
I started first by selling fabric. So I used to go to Isili, buy kitenges at 900 and sell it at 2K online. I think I was the first person to sell Ankara online.
And then the world opened its eyes. From Nairobi to New York Fashion Week, her journey is a reminder that talent can't grow anywhere.
So actually what opened my mind more is traveling. There's a bottle of Amarula and chocolates that I did limited edition. And I remember when they sent me the call, I said, you guys might be a scam. The only way your work can be well known is if your country consumes you.
And there's always been this fight. We want to get rid of Mutumba. Your thoughts around that?
There's not enough cotton produced locally, and that's the reality on the ground. The problem is if you over-import, where is the surplus going? Do you get? So if there's something that needs to be done, maybe regulation of how much is brought in.
This is the story of courage, culture, and becoming.
I'll only charge my value moving forward.
Right.
I'd rather have less business, but have really quality production.
Classmates, because of your support, we are getting bigger and better. Becoming CEO has partnered with Fair Deal Furniture, the official licensees of Ashley Furniture Home Store, the biggest manufacturers of furniture in the world, where the chairs are very, very plush and the tables are timeless, and the only thing more polished than the wood is the wisdom. Here we don't just sit and talk, we strategize and we build empires. Becoming CEO isn't just a title, it's a lifestyle, and every legacy deserves the right seat. Classmates, mko fiti, another exciting lecture, and our lecturer for the day is none other than Kate Mayeye. Now, if you've not heard about her, probably you've heard of African Fabric and Design Kenya, yes? Yeah, yes, African Fabric and Designs Kenya, and she's a powerhouse, and if you're into fashion, you definitely have heard of Kate Mayeye. And if you've not, today's the first time you're meeting her. We'll get to know her a bit better. I think she has one of the best systems when it comes to running a fashion house and a design company. And so I'm excited to have that particular conversation and so much to learn from this episode. Kate, thank you so much for gracing us with your presence.
Thank you for having me.
Looking like royalty. My God, the
Thank
outfit.
you. Thank you.
Ish. And you're representing who you are.
Yes, for sure.
This is all you. This is
Yes.
designed by
African-
Kate.
Yes, African Fabric and Designs.
Right.
This is like my version of corporate.
Okay.
Yes.
I love it. I love it. There's one thing my master tailor, he insists on being called that. Ashok always hears from me is, I want official, but I am a creative. So
Yes.
meet me somewhere in the middle. I don't want to
Yes.
wear a tie. I don't want
Yes.
to. So I love this
Yes.
representation of you. So let's start from the earliest context. And before Africa Fabric and Design Kenya, who was Kate Mayeye? How did you grow up? At what point did you and art and fabrics and the whole creative world interact? Want to know where you started from.
So I'm the third born in a family of 9.
Okay.
Yes, we're 7 girls and 2 boys in my family.
Right.
And then I was always the cheeky one, but I loved fashion.
Okay.
So my mom has always had a tailoring business, and then she also combined it with selling tush back in the days.
Okay.
So she would go and buy bales of clothes for sale. I would take the biggest majority of clothes.
Fashionista, diva from the world.
Yeah, I used to fight with my big sister a lot.
Right.
I used to have a pile and pile of clothes because one, I was lazy. I didn't like washing. I still don't like washing. So I used to make sure I have the most. So I was very into fashion and putting things together. And that's how I realized I have something there. So over the years now, I went into marketing school. and I was a marketer by profession. Graduated from Kenya Institute of Management.
Okay.
So from there now it was to decide the next path. First I was a consultant for a couple of years in terms of event space and being a creative, but in the events world.
Okay.
So I worked with different people like Big, Ahadi Trust Kenya. We still run their social media till date, me and a friend of mine.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I've been around the country. I've watched jiggers. I've been in the most humble of spaces and, you know, just visiting the country up and about. Then over the years, I was blessed enough to meet my spouse, Mr. Okaranime.
Yeah.
And he's the most amazing man in my life. And he now introduced me to, like, after I now had our first child, the next question was, how do we then create a legacy for our family? And there was no question that going to work for other people, even in terms of me being a consultant, which was a business that I'd partnered with somebody else, my friend Irene, I decided I wanted something just for us as a family. So then I knew I had to be in the fashion space. So he held me accountable and he said, yes, I'm going to give you the money as an investor, but you must have a business plan. So I had to come up with a business plan.
I love it. I love it.
Presented it to my husband, how I wanted to run the business, how I expected it to scale up, what were my goals and my vision. And that's how, you know, Mr. Okaranime invested the first $500,000 for me to start my business.
Okay.
And we started really small.
Now that's a good one right there.
Yeah. And then another thing is people assume that the brand started in a big space. No, it didn't. And even the reason I called it African Fabric and Designs is because I have a vision.
Right.
I realized the only fabrics we knew locally was Kitenge, Masai, Kikoi, Leso. Right? And there's a lot to explore in the African continent. And with the connection I had now, my husband being Nigerian, I was looking at that fashion space. They had a lot of fabrics first. So I decided to name it African Fabric first and then Design second, because I wanted to explore my love for fabrics, color, palettes, texture, and things like that.
Right.
So we started African Fabric and Designs in 2015. Had a very small shop in Toy Market, next to Toy. There's a mini mall there. So my shop was actually almost the size of the space we're sitting in.
Right.
This small corner.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
So I started first by selling fabric. So I used to go to Isili, buy kitenges at 900 and sell it at 2K online. I think I was the first person to sell Ankara online.
Oh,
yes, in 2015. Like, my digital footprint is long. And I used to do marketing a lot. And my main goal was to push it as a business. So I never even used to share it with my Facebook page. And I had almost 5,000 followers back in the day when I started. But I never shared it with my personal account. I used to just focus on building African fabric in its authentic self. So the only place I would share it now was the Facebook marketplaces. So it became so popular that in any of those pages, somebody would ask, where do I buy kitenge? Where do I buy kitenge? Everybody would tag me.
Right.
Tag African fabric. There's a page that normally sells. Let me look for it. And
African
everybody
fabric.
would tag it.
Right.
So I built it into such a household name in Facebook first, and then now grew and went into Instagram much later.
Right.
So that's how I started selling fabrics.
Right.
Then with time came the question of where am I taking this fabric? What next? So I brought in a tailor and I started kidogo. But I didn't want what was already being made, because Kenyans will like really simple styles.
Yeah.
That's what we like to ourselves. That we're very simple-minded people. But if you push the boundary a lot, because a lot of Kenyans, when you sit down with them and they say, oh, these are my inspos, but I don't like to be too much. No, they're very extra. Trust you me.
We are African. It's in us. It's somewhere in there.
It's in our DNA.
Yeah.
So that's where now I slowly transitioned into building a brand that everybody knew. Like most places, when I go to introduce myself, I don't say Kate. I first lead with African Fabric and Designs, because that's what people know. If I want things to move, I say this is African Fabric and Designs, then I say my name.
Okay. and I envy that your business is bigger, your brand is bigger than your personal brand. I love that.
Yeah.
So you started off with fabrics specifically?
Yes.
Okay. So at what point do you now start designing outfits?
I started in the same year, but
Okay.
more towards December, right?
All right.
So it was mostly the basic stuff, jackets,
Okay.
or a plain top and skirt, things like that.
What,
Then,
sorry.
sorry.
No, I was gonna ask what you remember. Do you remember like your very first design? The very first thing that you designed, and then if I'm gonna give you a task is, if you remember it, compare it with designs that you're making right now.
Oh, yeah, it's crazy. So I think one of the first pieces I ever made was for my friend Irene, who was my business partner in the other business. She was my number one. I think the first thing I made was a skirt that had a back zipper, and I was playing with the print. So it looked so unique, and she modeled it for me, and I took pictures and I posted. And then slowly now I started getting people to warm up to allowing me to design for them. Versus what I do now.
Yeah, two different worlds. Do you see like a personality change and growth between the Kate then and what you used to design versus now?
Yes.
Yes. At that point, where was the designing coming from? Was it from survival? Was it the creative? And right now, where are you at mentally?
Okay, when I started, I think I was a bit more humble. I was trying to find who I was first when I started.
Of course.
So I really played by ear. I listened more to the clients in terms of what they wanted me to produce for them. But over the years, I learned what my brand is. Like the personality trait I have now is I'm more assertive in terms of maintaining what my brand is all about. Back then, you would sway me to things. You would sway me to make things that I would not normally do it now, right? So right now, I am more confident in what I produce, and I know the direction my brand is taking, and I know who is my target client and what I want to produce.
Awesome.
Yes, that's the biggest difference between then and now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Something I wanted to ask as you were speaking, and I didn't want to interject earlier on, is why African fabrics? Why African patterns? Like we're so used to the Western way of dressing up. What about the African fabric and patterns and just stuck with you?
So, okay, from the beginning, like when I started, I hadn't traveled. I think the farthest I'd traveled was Uganda. So I knew for a fact that our prints were unique to us as Africans. And they were heavily influenced by a lot of factors, right? So I wanted African fabrics in that I introduced more African fabrics in the Kenyan space and more of quality, authentic fabrics locally. As opposed to us importing them tush and the rest of the other fabrics that people work with. Right? So for me, it was a matter of pushing the African narrative forward. Right? So as it stands now, I think I have fabrics from South Africa that are made in South Africa. I have fabrics from Ghana, made in Ghana. I have fabrics from Nigeria, made in Nigeria, and affiliate fabrics that they ship in but still work and have turned Western fabrics into their own cultural garments now. An example is where my husband comes from. He's Igbo. So they have this George lace fabric. Ideally, the George fabric that they used to produce locally, they phased it out and brought in the Indian George lace and turned it into their cultural garment.
Right.
Do you understand?
Yeah.
So it's a matter of understanding the psychology behind what Africans are consuming and now taking them as their cultural garments, as opposed to what we were doing before.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay. Wow. I just felt like I went into this deep class, and I love it. I love it. If there's one thing I love, is just getting new information and being introduced to a whole new world. What misconception is there about African fabrics and prints that is out there? I'll tell you one personally. Whenever we're doing a TV show or a film, my brief to Mercy is our wardrobe stylist, is I want when people watch this show, they immediately know that this is Kenyan. The same way we can tell a Nigerian show.
Yes.
We can tell a West African show. And for some reason, whenever I say African, the print that will be brought to me will be West African.
Oh,
Yeah. So I'm always like, but they're like, now feel in Kenya, it's just Masai and the kitenge that we know. But for some reason, we don't think of it as, I don't know, we don't see it here. We'd prefer shipping in Ankara or what do we call from South Africa?
The shweshwe.
Hey, hiyo jina sitajaribu.
They are shweshwe, they are tsonga print.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So my take on it is Kenyan consumers are very, how do I say it? There's a bit of confusion on what they feel looks good, right? We consume a lot of things from outside. Like now, if you check the Kenyan music space,
Yeah.
who are the people who are being given presidents? If you're bringing DJs from South Africa, you bring artists from all these countries, but if you go to their country, do they even listen to your music?
No.
When you go to these countries, do you even go to the DJ and say, can you play for me one Kenyan song?
No.
You will crave your music. But here, we even have tours. So we rarely consume a lot of our stuff.
Right.
So it's a reality check we need to give ourselves. Now, African prints generally, rarely there's any African country that produce their own African prints, apart from the Shoshwe in South Africa, the Ghanaian woven kente that's done in Ghana.
Okay.
And they also have some companies that produce in Ghana. Cotonou also has a few, but it's very rare that African fabric that we call African fabric, the kitenge and the Ankara, comes from China. Or Vlisco. Vlisco actually pays creatives to create collections and sell, and it's pretty damn expensive.
Very
So our prints are made outside the country, and that's the reality. So we have the authentic one that is done locally. It's just us to find a way to elevate our fabrics as designers, to elevate our fabrics and make it something that everybody wants to possess. And that's what I do with my brand. The way I would work on an Ankara fabric, a cow print fabric, the way I would work with prints makes it more elevated. And that's what I do. So you look at Ankara or kitenge or Masai fabric and actually want to wear it.
Okay.
Yes.
You just say that. So in my head, I'm like, by the way, this Masai fabric we keep talking about, is that what they used to wear originally? Because now...
No, even the Masai fabric that the Maasais wear is
Maasai
different
shawls
from the woolen one that we buy that is produced here. Yeah. Even the Kikoi fabric. Kikoi is produced locally.
Right.
Used to be. Now they import.
Yeah.
Mali Abdallah imported.
By the way, damn, okay.
We killed our cotton farms and stuff like that. Even the fabric that is produced locally. If you sit down with the guys at... there's a company that produces cotton textile. What are they called? Forgotten the name. Robitex or something like that. Uru used to make his prints from them. They used to make Uru's prints. But even the cotton that is available locally is not enough to dress everybody in the country. So if it starts from the government to bring in farming, make it more popular, have production done locally, and if they set up these measures, that's the only way the market can be satisfied. Yeah,
that's interesting. I had even noted it down.
Yeah.
Your experience from you started it off by selling mtumba, and then now
not me, my mom.
Your mom, sorry, family business.
Yes, family.
Yeah.
At some point.
So you've experienced that. Now you're doing this whole, or let me call it original thing. So. And there's always been this fight. We want to get rid of mtumba because in a way it's dehumanizing to us that we have to wear second-hand clothes from, guys. They're basically dumping their clothes on us. Also, if we get rid of mtumba, we will grow our own industries. So thanks for bringing this up. And just Your thoughts around that?
There's not enough cotton produced locally
Mm.
to sustain the entire country. We don't have enough. And that's the reality on the ground.
Okay.
So we cannot 100% say, hey, stop Tumba if the government has not given what next.
Right.
Because other than that, we still have to import textiles and then have factories produce, right? And if you check most of the schools, fashion schools locally, they mostly teach the kids ready-to-wear business. They rarely go into bespoke tailoring and stuff. A lot of them are doing ready-to-wear.
Right.
So when you look at that, you see, yes, there's direction towards what we want to achieve. But what is the next step that needs to be done? So if you watch like Kenyan Gold on Citizen TV, they talk about the local production that we do in terms of cotton and other things that are organic and that are made here in Kenya. So when you do a lot of research, you realize we really don't have enough that will sustain the economy. So if you move away, and thrifting is still there globally. Yeah, so we can't rule it out completely. Thrifting is not just a dumping ground at Kenya peke yake. If you go to US, there are thrift stores.
Right.
There are thrift stores in Europe.
That is true.
Yes. So there's thrift stores. There's still thrift stores in Asia.
That is true.
So for me, I find it as a way of sustainability as well, if they are used correctly. The problem is if you over-import, where is the surplus going? Do you get? Okay. So if there's something that needs to be done, maybe regulation of how much is brought in. Because if there's too much, then there's a lot of storage and wastage, and then what next? Like you see countries like Europe that are pushing sustainability. Countries in Europe who are pushing sustainability have a specific, when you import something, like even when we ship our products, you have to write what is the component of cotton, what is the biodegradable nature of the product that you're shipping to their country.
Okay.
So they demand a lot. So what next? So what is the African governments doing in terms of, okay, yes, you can bring the thrift garments, but don't bring too much polyester. Or maybe have the garments have 50% cotton and then the rest polyester percentage. Do you get?
Right.
So what is biodegradable and what isn't?
I hear you. I hear you. Take us to what you mean by a bespoke business. So do you first create, or you wait for a client to order and then co-create with the client? Because that will, then I'll ask my next question.
Okay, so I have two ways that I run my business. One, I do collections like twice a year. I do at the beginning and then towards the end of the year, which I do the production, come up with the designs, do productions, bring in the models, bring in photographers, videographers, shoot the content, put them in my catalogs, and then present it to everybody else. So that when they come, they know this is where that's how I show, this is how we've escalated to. This is what we produce now, versus what we were producing last year. Yes. Right. So sometimes it's me showing off, like, this is our prowess now.
Okay.
This is how we're doing.
They love it.
You can't get this here. You know, I stopped complaining that people that we're producing here and Kenyans still go and make their clothes in Nigeria, South Africa, and stuff like that. Because the market that I'm running towards is the luxury market. And the luxury market, they have the option of jumping on a plane and going to Nigeria for measurements and picking their clothes, right?
That is true.
They have the option of flying to Philippines and ordering from there directly, right? So I wanted to meet my consumers where they are. So how will they know that I can produce those garments if I don't do my own collection?
That is true.
So I have to do my collection, present it to them. I do it twice a year, before April, and then towards the end of the year from September to November.
Right.
Yeah.
Walk us through your creative process, because if you're releasing in April, then I'm assuming at this point you already have an idea, or you've already designed what is coming out in April. So what does that creative process look like for you, right from sketch to the final garment? Where do you get your inspos? What timelines do you work with? Yeah.
So one, influenced by trends, and the trends, most of my trends that I look out to are the couture ones, right?
Okay.
And more drama, more bling, which is more of my signature. nowadays I'm leaning towards more glam but quiet, like quiet luxury. We're not screaming, but when you look at that dress, you see the detailing, you see the craftsmanship,
you see the money.
yes.
Right.
So with that, I get inspirations from definitely the trends, what's been presented for the summer, winter, do you know,
okay,
global trends,
right.
then the African trends, and then fabrics. What is being produced now? And the funny bit when I say African fabrics is we consume a lot of lace, which is made in China.
Right.
But the African language of how we interpret lace versus how Westerners present lace, one two different parts.
Right.
Because our African bodies can take anything. We are not limited to color, textures, and things like that.
Right.
So I get inspired also by what is being produced by the manufacturing companies. And I have a lot of suppliers in terms of fabrics. So I always have abundance. By the time, if you see the fabrics that I'm designing for April, I work with the factories in China. By the time you see these fabrics in Nigeria, it's towards the third quarter of the year. I bring in my fabrics so early, and I use those to create trends before now they become an African trend. Like the fabrics that Nigeria is producing now, I had them in January, already sold to my clients. And I know what I recommend to them. And I tell them, these are new. These are the new collections. This is what I'm working with.
Is it because we are not loud as Kenyans? Like, you know, for me, if you ever just stop me and ask me randomly which African nation is at the forefront of fashion and trends.
It's Nigeria.
Yeah.
And then South Africa. Yeah. And then everybody else before Kenya.
Right. But you're here, you're telling me that you personally, like you're months, years ahead of everyone else. Ahead of
like if you see what my clients consume is completely, like the things that are trending now, I'd already done it. We're done with those fabrics. We've brought in new ones. Like I always have fresh new fabrics.
Right.
That, and even my suppliers I only get European quality. I don't get the ones that they ship to Africa.
Okay.
So even with my shippers, I have a kidogo arrangement how I do my shipping to them. I don't give them location. I have signed ways of how I do my shipping with my people, you know. So it's 10 years in business. So with time, you've built relationships that are long lasting. I have suppliers who send me goods on credit. Right. So when you build your network in terms of your value supply chain, you get the best.
You know, you've mentioned some interesting things, and please humor me. Unaongea na mwanaume hapa hivi. Sasa mimi kuna majina unataja, and I need to, you know, first of all, you said you watch trends like globally, what you know, and especially couture. So tuanzia tu hapo couture. What does that mean? Because it's a question I've always asked. A lot of fashionistas. These dresses I see on runways and walkways, mtu amevaa TV somewhere kwa kifua, alafu mnatuambia ni fashion. Hakuna mtu atawaivaa hiyo nguo. Anyway, so is that couture, or that is something very different?
Couture is governed by a body in France.
Okay.
Yes. So couture is limited to a few.
Right.
Even for you to be inducted to go for the couture runways, there's certain procedures that you have to take to be classified as a couture designer. We throw that word around in Africa a lot. But the people at the top govern it are in France. There's a body that governs couture production, right? And these are garments that will be produced one of one. There will be no duplicate. You see the way you can see a fashion designer has made a garment that is a couture. There's a couture ready to wear, and then there's a couture bespoke. Those ones can never be duplicated. You can't see somebody wearing the same look and another celebrity wearing the same look. So those ones are governed by the bodies.
Hey, thank you for schooling me. I didn't know that. I've never even
No. So
Heard of that,
when the
yeah.
designers release their collections, they have versions of their dress that they can turn a couture piece into a ready-to-wear piece and then mass produce it. But then there's the way they create the ones that are completely bespoke that they cannot recreate
And
for
the
other
bespoke
people.
now
It's
is
for
what we see.
for one of one.
One of one.
Yeah, so even the people who afford it are one of ones. I mean, their ready-to-wear of the versions is still highly valued and highly priced,
Right.
but still that one is garments that go for $60,000 plus. Yes.
On that walkway, when you've been to some of the biggest walkways across the globe, notably, I think recently I saw you at the New York Fashion Week.
Yes.
And the Thai silk.
Thai Silk Fashion Week.
Oh, hizi vitu ni ngumu kwangu. Thai fashion silk week.
Yes.
When you sat there and you look at
watched
these
my
models
design.
and you're watching these models, and what is going through your head? What are you learning? What are you looking at? Me as a regular person, by the way, akista kudanganya. I watch like model number 3. Okay, sielewi.
So there's different types of garments that can be produced on a runway, right? So most of the runways that are done globally are people presenting a collection that they can easily recreate. So when you go to any of these runways, your sole purpose is to either find somebody who wants you to manufacture for them or for you to do your PR. PR in terms of meeting the celebrities, the stylists to the stars, so that your work can be presented out there. So there's different targets to go on a runway.
Right.
Now I did Thai Silk Fashion Week, which was extended to me by the consulate in Thailand, Ambassador Kip and the wife.
Okay.
Yes. So Thai Silk for me was, I think, my biggest experience, and then New York.
Right.
And what I did in Thailand, they have not believed it till today. We were staying in the same hotel as designers. And on the opening night,
Right.
so we were seated, they put us in alphabets, according to the alphabet and our countries. It was
Right.
Korea, Kuwait, and then, I don't remember the Kazakhstan, and then Kosovo. So for me, I follow Kosovo designers a lot. And one of the biggest designers there was Valdrin Sahiti. He's very big in terms of design world. And I said hi to him and I said, I love your outfit, which I did an Ankara mixed with velvet, and I put teardrops all over. So it was one of me, right? Clock it. And then
nimefunzwa hapa.
yeah, and then I was sitting next to a lady from Kuwait. The designer was, because I'm African,
Right.
her language. She's like, yeah, what do? Do you go to runways? Oh, I was in Paris the other week. Oh, I presented my collection. She was showing me. I was like, wow, impressive. But I didn't understand her collection, right? Because I'm not the end consumer.
Right.
But that's what she produces for the UAE market. She was telling me she has a store in Dubai. She has a store in Kuwait. Another one in Qatar. I was like, wow. And we're on the same platform. Wow. We're here together. And then my national costume walked by the stage. The respect changed. We all went backstage to come and do the final walk with our models.
Right.
And the compliments were crazy. Everybody. They said, wow. We had the same hours to create these garments. How did you do that? So now my national costume that I presented for Thai Silk Fashion Week is at the Thai Museum.
Wow.
Yeah.
Now I want to. I'm sure you have photos.
Yes, I do.
Especially at this particular point, we will put up those.
Yes, I'll post the photos and the videos.
And the videos as well.
So they had different types of models. They had amateur models and supermodels. They gave my work to a supermodel.
Right.
Yeah.
What feedback surprised you most from that experience? Because you got so many compliments and comments. What is the perception they had that you shattered? And they were like, even for years.
Yes,
like, really, guys?
Yeah. Let me tell you. So I went after the first day. The ambassador was super impressed, right? Because That he himself, the compliments he got. That is your national costume? My God.
Yeah.
So now the compliments he got, we went to the embassy and there were Kenyans there. And I remember when we were meeting them and they were being told, hey, you guys, you need to come and support. Kenya is showcasing on this day. Your tickets are ready. Everybody come. I need all Kenyans in Thailand to come to the showcase. So after the show now, that day, we were showcasing like 6 countries and then Nigeria. We were all showing on the same day.
Right.
Let me tell you the number one compliment I got. Even from Nigerians, they said, wow, Kenyans cancel.
Wow.
That was the compliment, including the ambassador. We were that good. And I only did 6 outfits on that runway. Because when you don't take, Kenya had not taken the big show. The big show is when you do now the 24 collection. I only had 6 outfits.
Right.
And the impact made, everybody was shocked. They said, oh my God, we expected just the kawaida palazzo pants and t-shirts. So a lot of people didn't even come because they expected, Kenyans, to do palazzo pants and t-shirts. But let me tell you, I got a standing ovation. Standing ovation.
Well, this is a conversation I've found myself having a lot of times. And I'd want to just hear your thoughts around Kenyans and not being very fashion forward, fashion facing.
Yes.
I mean, I have a lot of theories, but I'd love to hear yours. Where does it come from?
I believe a lot of us were still shy in terms of how we express ourselves. Maybe it's how we all grew up. We're really brought up to be humble as Kenyans. We're very humble people. So even when we want to brag with things like education, like, oh, I have a master's in this, I have this and this and this. But as creatives, we still feel it comes back to now when you present your stuff to the consumers, they still want to suppress you.
Right.
So I get that a lot. I'll get a bride who says, me, I'm a very simple bride. And then you look at their inspos and you're like, no, you're not. Right? And I realized I used to take in a lot of feedback from the consumers, and that's what affects our production as well. I can't blame it entirely on creatives because your consumers influence a lot of the direction you take.
Because you're going to produce what they will buy. You don't want to.
Yes. But you also have to be tough-headed sometimes. So you do your collections, then they see the amount of work you can do, then they give you a chance. So I always tell my clients, just give me a chance. Let me do this. If you don't like it, then we can talk about a refund or redoing it the way you want. And let me tell you, 99.9% of the time, they go with my direction, right? So what I realized also, why I also changed how I do my production is a lot of times people come to the shop and tell you, they see all these nice things that you have, and tell you, I'm a very simple person, I don't want the most. And then when they come for fittings, they do their fittings in that simplicity and they say, this doesn't look like an African fabric garment. But you wanted this.
Right.
I presented you to you. You don't want it. So now I put my foot down on what I want to produce.
Right.
If you want simple, I refer you to where you can get simple, but not in my fashion house.
we will go to the consumers bit, but I want to just wrap up on just being on the global runways, walkways, and what does that do to you after that? Is it now more pressure? Because now you can never, your standards can never.
Yeah.
And then do Kenyans even appreciate that? Does it change?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
I can give you an example. When I did New York Fashion Week, when I did Thailand, I think I had around 90K followers, right? But when I did New York, which was last year, I had clients who would not trust me to produce for them. I had a couple, several. But after New York, after they saw me in New York, now they trust the fact that I can produce what they want. Like now they feel like I'm on the Neiman
Yeah.
Marcus space. I am in the international space. Now they want association, or now they feel like they can trust me more. So it builds a certain je ne sais quoi to your brand.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I am never sure how to feel about it, because we face that in the film industry as well.
If you're not nominated abroad.
Yeah, exactly. When you get nominated abroad is when Kenyans will pay attention.
Yeah.
And it ties back to my theory around fashion. One of the theories I have is, I keep saying this, Kenya was the best colonized country. if there are people...
We're too colonized.
Exactly. Like our colonialist, what's his governor, was so good that he'd write notes for the other colonial masters around Africa. So we got the best. So I feel like they really did a number of on us. And look at Kenyans and Britons. Britons are also not very loud with outfits and style and how they carry themselves. You look at Kenyans, you just see Britons. Yeah, so that is where my theory comes in from a fashion and creative perspective. And then now what you've just told me, I'm like, wow, you've been doing this for over a decade, but you have to go to the New York Fashion Week for someone to trust you.
Imagine.
Anyway, ni sawa. Tunawachia Mungu. But there's a young designer out there, a young lady who's starting out. They're looking up at you and they're like, I want to showcase my designs on a global stage, like Kate Mayeye. What path should they follow?
Number one, I'd say build your experience. Building experience comes from working for other brands. A lot of the kids in school are taught to just be their own bosses. So they don't know where to come to get humility, right? So I saw this on TikTok today, actually. Somebody wrote somewhere and said, all entrepreneurs are looking for people to employ. And the Gen Zs are saying there's no work.
Right.
But we're hiring. But what are you presenting to us? So there's a huge gap. And I feel like it needs to start from the schools, right? To transition into the minds of the budding new designers.
Right.
There's a lot of things that you can do as a designer.
Right.
Right? So if you're in school now, I know the teachers are teaching you how to build your own brand. But the most paid designers in this world work for other brands.
Okay.
Do you get?
Okay.
Like now you see all the celebrities are being poached by big fashion houses. Gucci is just asked A$AP Rocky to be the new part of the creative team. Right? You are supposed to build your experience to reach the level where you can say, you'd see a lot of people who are now achieving their best version of themselves. You'll hear they've worked for other brands for 40 years, 20 years. And when they come out now, because they're working from a point of experience, the industry immediately become a viral moment.
Right.
So be humble, be willing to learn. Because if you're not learning, you're not growing. Yeah. And every day is a learning experience. You don't know everything.
Right.
Yes.
Okay. Let's go back to the business. We had started on your creative process as I go to the business, and then we found ourselves in New York. So back to Kenya, back kwa ground.
Yes.
I think this is true. This is an assumption, but just from my experience also as a creative, that path of the product you're creating as a creative and profitability, wow, it's a problem. So we want to know, how do we build a brand as big as your company? Now from a business angle, like fashion and profitability, they don't always sit well together.
So like this question, I really like it, because I'm on a platform in Facebook with Kenyan designers and tailors. So there's a Facebook group. And I remember one day somebody posed a question and said, guys, in this group, let me ask you, will we even hold 500K, leave alone 1 million? Will we ever be able to hold 500K? I said, So I went in the comment section, and somebody tagged me in the comments and said, African Fabric easily makes such amounts of money. And somebody went on the comments and said, I leave all these big corporations. You can't tell motivational speakers that they can earn this amount. I say, what? I told this guy, if you are building a fashion brand, or you're a designer or a tailor, and you're charging your clients, you have to give value, right? So the value that you're giving, you charge according to that value and your experience. You're a tailor of over 10 years, but you've never touched an order where you've charged the client 20K. You're still charging 3.5. And you still have to take transport, go to Isili to buy fabrics, because that's where everybody who's cheaper goes. You have to go and bargain for pricing, right? And now they're not giving discounts anymore. And then that's transport. You're paying electricity. You have to use water, because you can't iron without water.
That is
you have to, like, there's a lot of things that you need in production, which you're not putting in place when you're giving pricing. And then you see brands like mine that are built, and you feel it's a motivational speech, then you can never scale up. And that's why our Kenyan space remains stagnant. Because if you check other countries and what they do, and if you study if you follow these accounts and see how they do their business, you'll understand that somebody who you started following when they had 2K followers, and what gives them a viral moment, and how they upscale and start charging those prices is because you've learned your value. So unless we Kenyans put value in production and how expensive it is to produce anything locally, then you'll understand that for you to scale up, you must charge your value, right? So even as it is now, I'm still undercharging. I don't charge the same value as Tanzanians, leave alone going to Nigeria.
Right.
As Tanzanians are our neighbor, they charge their value. But a Kenyan would easily pay 150K to a Tanzanian designer than pay a Kenyan designer for the same exact garment. And you would do better. They would have fittings here and stuff like that. That's why I don't take alterations. It's none of my business. Go alter it where you ordered it. You get. So when we put respect on the value that we Kenyan designers can offer you, and give us a chance, because production also takes years of experience, and production is per person.
Right.
Per person service. So your first fitting doesn't mean that is your final fit. Beyonce can do 7 fittings. Whomst are you? And we are on her internet
every day.
So we have to give grace, extend grace to your tailor, to your designer, and when they actually bill you something, don't bargain too much.
Kitu unanitrigger. Wow.
Don't bargain too much.
No, you have no idea how many times we've had this conversation.
Yeah.
Kenyans just don't value production done in Kenya. And it's not even just creative work. I think for the longest time, tumezoeshwa, we import a lot of things. And so we judge local producers the same way as, for example, if it's clothes, for example, we are so used to fabric and clothes that we import, and just look at the sheer scale of how China does it. There's no Kenyan designer with that capacity and that level of fabric, and because they're doing it at scale, it's much cheaper. So I'm gonna judge Kate based on what I get from China, which will be very, very unfair. And also, damn, I've lost that train of thought. But I was gonna mention I experienced that as well, because the same equipment, the same cameras, lights, microphones I use are the same exact equipment used by people in Hollywood. But look at how much they will charge. And if I give you the same quote, but my cost of production,
these are the issues.
my cost of production is exactly as someone in Hollywood, but you will not pay me.
Your value, yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
oh my God, pricing.
Oh, yes.
Pricing is,
It's so difficult.
yeah.
And I always say, like for me, what I decided to do this year is I read somewhere. If you're selling luxury, you are offering something of high-end value. You cannot think from a poverty mindset or a poor mindset.
True.
You'd rather not have that business then. Work with your team to create things that are of value. Those of value will see it and consume it. Like now, I push a lot of my brand to go global than local. So I ship out a lot of my orders than for the local market. So to say for me, it's a balance of 50-50. Either my clients are coming from abroad or local, but it's a very good balance, right?
Okay.
So even when we have any issue that pertains to the country, I'm still producing and I'm still making money.
Right.
Which is extremely important for your business to sustain whatever weather that is around, right? So any business that you're doing locally, once you've found your niche and your target market, you need to explore on how to scale it up. But if your target is, because Kate charges 150 or 200K for this gown, I'm going to charge you 100K. But that production is highly expensive than what I'm billing, and you go and charge that. When will you ever reach that level?
That is true.
Because your profits then will be this.
So it's
which is still what we're making now.
Yeah.
Small profits, just to stay afloat.
That is true.
Do you get?
So it's a mindset shift from us, the creatives and the designers, and also our audience.
Yes.
It's schooling our audience to start appreciating Kenyan made.
Yes.
And appreciate that it is just more expensive to do business here than a lot of other places.
Yes. The funny bit is this. The consumers can actually pay. Do you know they can actually afford us? From the corporates to personal businesses, they can afford to pay what is made in Kenya. But when we stop complaining, and as creatives, we actually work towards that and work in unison. Because if everybody is going the cheapest route, but then the production is not good, because you're cutting corners to give them that cheaper version of what they want. And then they come back and say, how about you do it for me because somebody else messed it up? Can you fix it for me? No, I won't. I'll only charge my value moving forward.
Right.
I'd rather have less business, but have really quality production.
For you to be where you're at right now, it's been years of learning
and unlearning
and changing. Which was your hardest year? What was happening, and what did you learn from that season? Your hardest season, your hardest year.
I think it's this year, maybe. This a bit of this and last year, because. Was it this year? For me, mostly my biggest challenge is employees. I'm trying to scale up, and getting the right team that understands your vision is extremely difficult. And I speak to a lot of creatives, and we are all reading from the same page. Just to translate what is on your mind on paper.
Right.
Because I have a very intricate system. I have a system that you can track everything that is in production as we speak. But you're still depending on human power to click that button, next, just to click that next, or upload is a problem. And for you to,
I hear
it's crazy. So for that to be followed, you do your sketches, you align your work, you speak your vision, and I train. I train every day. Every day for me is training day. As long as I'm sitting, you see me with my stuff like this, I'm teaching you something on why I want this to be done the way this is being done. But either we have a new generation who don't understand how we millennials actually work. And a lot of the millennials that you get now, I don't think they're looking to work for entrepreneurs, sadly.
No.
Yeah.
No.
I doubt there's any millennials, because I've tried looking for employees. And the millennials, you're looking for a business manager. They're not experienced in their field, but they'll tell you my salary is 200K. And I'm like, I'm an entrepreneur, right? I'm not that big corporate you're looking for.
It's the years of
So it's a bit challenging.
Right.
Yeah. So I'm hoping that we will have more HR firms that are geared towards giving us the talent that we're looking for.
Experienced talent is very expensive.
It is.
So the people we are looking for, they're actually there.
Yeah.
But now our businesses cannot handle or cannot be able to pay them what they're worth. So it's one of those. Kate, from where you stand, how does African fashion move from beauty and wow to billions? Because I want Africa Fabric and Design to be on the same level as Prada and Gucci. I think I just saw today Prada bought Versace for $1.4 billion.
Yeah.
I think that has happened today. Yeah, man, I want to hear such figures in our industry.
The thing that these people have is a network.
Yeah.
So what is your visibility like as an African brand? And that's what a lot of us Africans are pushing. Like now, if you check online, there are a lot of African brands who are pushing to make an impact, like Elenter. There's a lady called, she's very popular. There's specific African brands, but those ones who are really pushing the narrative and are actually really big and moving beyond just dressing Africans, but dressing the entire world. These are people who are either they are based abroad, so the algorithms work in their favor.
Right.
So Africans, our numbers are still being suppressed. Like, if you see how my algorithms are being suppressed, it's crazy. They want you to pay for those ads.
That is
to
true.
reach the masses that you're supposed to reach.
That is
While
true.
if I go to America now and I post from America, so what are the masses consuming? So is what you need to look for.
Absolutely.
But is it going to be an everyday thing?
Right.
Remember, you're running your tight ship. You're running your shop. And someone like me who's still an entrepreneur, I'm not paying a social media creative because it's a language that I want to maintain for my brand. And it's with the new entrance of employees and social media managers,
Right.
I am yet to get approached the correct way. To say, maybe I'll give you a chance. Let's come up with the content, right? Because people think I want to go dancing on social media, no. And I don't want to create clout to sell.
No.
I want my work to actually speak. So I always speak one language, very clear, very professional. This is what I do, this is what I offer, and this is where I ship.
Right.
So I'm a marketer by profession. So my language is
Very.
one way. Maybe I need to start dancing. But I used to dance years back. That's in 2018. I was a dancer on my page.
For real?
Not really dance
Nakutafuta
like
sasa.
that, but I used to model for my brand back in the
Right.
day.
Okay.
And after a while, I started now bringing in models to
Yeah.
push my brand. But please don't send me a DM. I'm not hiring models. I work with agencies. Or I work with certain individuals that I
Right.
like, and I feel like their brand possesses the same luxury that I want to portray. There's some people you don't look for fashion. So why am I dressing you? Why are you modeling for me?
That's true.
So it has to be somebody who aligns with my brand, and I'm not looking. Please, I'm not looking. Please don't send me a DM. I'm not looking for models. Because if immediately I mention I'm doing a shoot or anything like that,
DMs flood.
my DMs are flooded by models. I'm looking for clients. Imagine if you're my client first. You wear my products before you model for me.
I hear you.
Imagine.
100. I know you've named a few, but if you don't mind just naming a few African designers that you feel are now like pushing the envelope and putting Africa on the map
Yes.
on the same level as you.
Okay, so one of the African brands that I really, really love is Vicky James, because I started following Vicky James before COVID when she just had 2K followers.
Wow.
And now she's in millions of followers. And she has transitioned from a designer to an influencer the right way, not for clout. and I attended her masterclass 2 years ago. The first time she did her masterclass, and I think she's just done 2. I don't know if she's going to do another one, but it was a life-changing experience because she is a self-taught fashion designer like me.
Okay.
Right? And we mostly do bespoke. Even when we create ready-to-wear lines, it's still within the more high-end, more luxury, more put-together kind of work, right? As opposed to mass production. We prefer limited qualities and quantities.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So that's one of the brands I look up to. There's Tubo, who's a trendsetter. There's a lot of brands. I can't mention everybody. But those are the popular ones people know. But there are others that I follow that are still at 2K followers.
Right.
But I see potential. I start following them early. Then you see the growth. Then you see what they're doing and how do you incorporate who your brand is to scale up. Yeah.
Okay. Leadership. Now that you started mentioning that your biggest challenge is the employees and maintaining, retaining, training, all those things. Hey, in the almost decade that Africa Fabric and Designs has been there, how have you grown? How do you feel you've grown now from a leadership perspective? What are the values and virtues you've had to learn the hard way?
Well, I've learned patience.
Yeah,
I was
one,
extremely impatient. If you met me last year, I was very toxic. Me, I'd say, let me not lie. I can be because I want what I want the way I want. And I've trained you. Why are you not doing it? Do you get? So now I'm more understanding. And I'm trying to understand. I'm working from the outside looking in. Like, I go deeper with these girls. Why is ABCD like this? There's sometimes a tailor would produce, and I'll call them to the side, and I say, there's something wrong with you. What's going on at home? So I'm trying to be more emphatic. That one.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to understand more. Like, where's your mindset at? Right? So then we can work together to achieve the same goal. But this year I've seen some significant improvement with the team, although we're still struggling 1 or 2 there. Because if one person messes up, you see the entire chain, you'll see the gap.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So the best thing I've done is learn my business and learn what system is working and what is not.
Right.
Like if you see the departments, if I show you my internal system, you'll be so impressed. Like I can track how many orders I've done for the year. And I have, like I can access it anywhere in the world. If the team is working, then I see it.
Right.
Because I get reports every single day on how many people have stepped foot in my store.
Yeah.
And what they came for. Even if it's a rider that came to drop something, I must know. So even with the CCTVs and stuff. So like I sat down with, every day, let me tell you, I learn. I sat down with some CCTV guys who were telling me they have the AI added on CCTVs that can count how, instead of us doing it manually, I can actually get the report daily. If I have that type of AI CCTV. It's crazy amount of money.
Yeah, of course.
But, and I'm also working with my web guy on a lot of AI stuff to add to the website. So I'm trying to use a lot of tech and IT that we can work on, you know. So actually what opened my mind more is traveling. I was in a women's group called Female Founders in 2022, 23, 24. And by meeting different entrepreneurs, you understand, yes, we have the same problems, but some are no longer complaining. They found solutions or they're building solutions. I met somebody called Gael, a lady who's Congolese, who runs a tech business in South Africa. And she told me what solution I can bring on board in my business.
Right.
Yeah, it was expensive to run it in South Africa, but I found somebody in Nigeria to do it for me. But because of meeting like-minded business women who gave me ideas.
Right.
So for me, that's what I was telling you. Most of my free time, even with my personal friends, we discuss business a lot, more than gossip. Because yes, we gossip for the vibes, but then We start talking, hey, how's business,
Yes.
babes? What are you doing differently? And we're all in different fields. I have a Tong in South Sudan. I have Fidelia here in Nairobi. And she works for UN, but she has her own businesses on the side, like several, and it's crazy. And she travels for work and all that. So I'm like, how do you run a busy warehouse in downtown, a spa in Nairobi, and you're thinking of opening an spa, and you run a jewelry business in South Africa from here?
Damn.
So when you meet like-minded individuals, even if you gossip about life, when you sit down to discuss business, the advice that comes from this is what I'm doing different as opposed to what I was doing before. Then you kind of understand what solutions can work for you.
Right.
Yeah.
Wow. Man, we've touched on the structure, how you design, the systems, the marketing, and I was very impressed that what you studied was marketing.
Yeah.
Because if there's one thing every founder struggles with is marketing. We know how to create products, but when it comes to marketing, and that was impressive. Let us go to the end user, the client. We kama kuna pahali kuna kuanga na drama na fujo, when it comes to your world is making the client happy.
Yes.
Yeah, and especially because you deal with ladies now.
Yes.
Ladies,
I were very emotional.
yes, especially when it comes to the clothes. But
Yes.
what would you want more women to know about expressing themselves using clothes?
Okay.
Like, because I have friends in my life and family. Yeah, they just won't pay that much attention to how they dress.
So for me, what I've seen change a lot in terms of how you present yourself is normally the first impression. First impression is always how you look. And most of the times, we Kenyans are very laid back. We don't care. We show up to events in jeans and T-shirts and we're good to go. And it's a very bad habit. Please, if you're doing that, stop. Because even if you cannot afford African fabric, there's a lot of brands that can offer you what you need. And I have seen women who will probably proudly stand up where other women are. Me, you can never find me with a fundi. You can never find me stressing about tailoring. Nenda nanunua mango za Turkey. But let me tell you something, right? When it comes to production, any production house has empowered for every employee they have. You find this employee supports 10. So your network is around, if a fashion house has 3 employees, that's like 30 people they are feeding. Right? So if somebody is importing from Turkey, they're only feeding the shipper, right? And then you, the end consumer, or the salesperson they have in their store. But then how do you empower your local communities? And a lot of people who say this are people who can actually afford production. And what it stops is, I've gone to events where you see 4 or 5 ladies wearing the same outfit by coincidence. Because now everybody is marketing widely, right? And you'll go to an event and you're 6 people wearing the same thing. But one person will look better than the other because of how they styled it, or maybe their body or something else. Then you start feeling inferior. And then you don't present yourself more. So looking good for me, I always see, I've seen women stand out. I've seen women get promotions because they changed how they dressed. And they changed how they presented themselves in their companies. And they'll tell you, guy, babe, do you know I've just gotten promoted? Because every time they had an event in their company, she showed up looking her best. And the clients keep giving her more business because they're like, oh my God, this one knows what she's doing. Look at how she's presenting herself. She's valuing me as a client. She's presenting this to me now. I need to put more money in her pocket. I've seen women's life change by wearing my brand. And even leave alone wearing my brand, I've seen brands who used to buy my fabrics elevates because there was an issue where clients would come and tell me, oh, I went to town and I saw my fabric being sold 2,500 per yard, and that's the same fabric my designer is using to make for me my bridal gown. Or you see the same fabric the bride is using for her bridal gown, the bridesmaids are wearing, or her guest at the wedding. So I'm like, where's the uniqueness? It's your day. You're supposed to feel special.
Right.
You know. So most of the women I dress are women who don't want to blend in the shadows. They want to stand out.
Right.
And when you stand out, certain things change in your life.
Oh, absolutely.
100%.
Yeah.
So if you want to look the best, be the best. Always present yourself in the best version. There's no two ways about it.
The other part to that question is, like you said, most clients will walk to your space with inspos. And of course, we know inspos are very aesthetic. There's a way they look. Now, for me, where I kind of feel it's hard for you is a lady will bring you, because I think I've had this conversation with Naomi, and she's had this challenge a lot. Amekuletea ile picha mnakuonesha the model. The model has a certain body type, and she has, the client has a certain body type, but they're like, I want this one.
Yes.
And then you make this one.
Yes.
And then they wear it.
And then it
they
doesn't
don't look like the
one.
model.
Yeah. That's why it's important as a brand.
Yeah.
Know who you are. Are you just a tailor? Because that's you being a tailor. I've given you this, you're giving me that.
Yes.
A fashion designer, you have to be able to do your own sketches. Yes, come with your inspiration so I can know what styles you like. Or what you see on the, like what is your standards? What do you like? Then from what you like, I can design something that will suit you. Because that's what I do for my clients.
Right.
Even nowadays, when I chat with clients and somebody says, can you do for me this exact design? I'll tell you straight up, no, I will not. The other day, somebody told me I'm rude. I said, it's okay. Because I know what I'm telling you, you don't want to hear. They said, can you make me this exact style? I said, no, we don't offer copy-paste. I can take your inspiration and create something that will suit you. Next question. What if I want something specific? I said, then we're not the design brand for you.
Right.
Then she said, why are you being so rude? I said, babe, it's because I'm telling you what you don't want to hear.
That is true.
Do you expect me to be to sugarcoat it or go around in circles and do a long paragraph? No. I'm not the design house for you. You're open to check elsewhere. Why? Because I want to work how I want to work. I want to present the best version of myself and meet you halfway. So yes, I will take your inspos and I will design something that will suit you.
Right.
But if you want to box me into, oh, you must create a copy-paste of what I want, it will never work with me. Never. If I cannot sketch it and bring it to life, then at the end of the day, I'm not happy with the production. So there are times when you're stuck, you get an order and everybody is doing, there's classic silhouettes where, oh, we just want A-line dresses, strapless. That's a classic silhouette. It's not a copy-paste, but it's a classic design. But there's a way we can do it. And I say, how about I do this? And I add this and say, no, that's too much. I will not be a happy designer.
I love it.
I'll be like, oh my God. Okay, let's finish this production and move on to the next. There's classic styles, but there's a way you can turn a classic into something better. Just give it a chance, you know.
You know, I love it. And at this point, because I want to switch to just the ladies in the house, the fashionistas. Mercy, Mukami, is there something you feel I have not asked on your behalf? Najua hii world yenyu kuna vitu tunaweza kuwa nimesahau that you'd have wanted to learn.
It's a fashionista ask.
Okay. Okay. All right. I'm a good student.
Or youngies,
I will put my demographic at 25 years and above.
25 years and above.
Yeah.
That's
I
your
dress
clients mostly.
I dress women in their 70s who don't joke, who are still wearing the 3-4 inch heels. Yeah. And they're still wearing their red lipstick and doing their foundation and powder and whatnot and still looking fly.
Right. I love it.
To buddies. So I cover everybody.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So my market is quite wide.
Yeah.
and I've been privileged because of the kind of intense marketing I do.
Mm-hmm.
So the outreach is bigger.
Right.
And I've also learned that I attract a lot of quiet. Nowadays, I attract a lot of quiet luxury. They don't want to make noise. I don't post, like if you see this year, I've mostly been posting about fabrics. Yet I have, from the beginning of the year, I had 6 tailors. Now I have 9.
Wow.
Yeah. So for me, we reduce, we add tailors. We reduce. Some get poached along the way.
Right.
The ones who survive, I thank you. We
Yeah.
continue. We continue production, but most of all, we continue training and work together. And this year I was very intentional. I said, we're turning 10 years. We don't want to keep producing.
Yeah.
Like a lot of people are, can you make for me this style? I'm like, this is a palazzo. I refer them to a designer who can make for them. So the only ones who I'd make a palazzo for is like an in-house client who I already have, who I know would not agree to go to somebody else. I have the entire measurements. I'll proceed and make.
Okay.
Yeah. So, but on a random, you're a first-time client and your first order is, can you make for me this palazzo and a top? I'm sorry.
Right.
Yeah.
Man, we can speak about your business every day and that will be amazing, but we want to know a bit more about Kate.
Yeah.
I think Africa, fabric and design. Yes, we have detail for like an hour now. So what does Kate's day look like? Your regular day? Outside of the glamour, outside of the work.
So for me, most times my day starts at 10 to 12 o'clock. Sometimes it starts at 2 p.m.
Okay.
That means I'm sleeping. I sleep in the morning.
Right.
So, and then I start with, my team has already, like by that time, I have messages from my team because the previous night I asked questions of what I wanted done or follow up. So I'll wake up to messages, attend to those, do admin works, send invoices that I need to send, follow up with suppliers, pay suppliers, pay bills, taxes, all that stuff. And then the next step is, once I enter the store, I rarely answer my WhatsApp messages because all I'm doing is appointment after appointment after appointment. And I highly encourage people to book appointments because it gives me the time to be personal with the client, because I really like knowing who my client is. Sometimes I veer away from asking them what I want. I say, who are you? Or what do you do? Or who are your guests at your wedding? Who are you as a person? So once I learn who my customer is, it's easy for me to design for them.
Yeah,
yes.
For sure.
So by the time a client leaves, we are buddies. So when they go away after I've done their weddings, it's sad. Because you've built a bond and now we're gisting and stuff like that. So there's that. And then after my appointments in the evening, now things start to cool off. Most times I reach home around 9 or 10. If I'm lucky, maybe on a Monday or Tuesday, we close around 7:38. I go home early. If it's a school day, at least I see my kids. So during holidays, they sleep around 11. Why? Because they need to see me. I already don't see them during school hours. And my husband at least really, really helps me a lot because somebody is helping me hold the fort with the kids and stuff like that. They're really close. So we have 3 boys and 1 girl.
Wow. Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
And our last child is autistic, so it's more work, but with God, we're thriving.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, and therapy.
Right.
So you can imagine the challenges of running the home and then the business. Then we come home and I spend a lot of hours with my lastborn because of autism. His sleeping hours are whenever he feels like. So. Right. Even with training, it takes time, but we chill now a lot. That's when I spend more time with him. He sleeps quite late. Me, myself, most nights I don't sleep because I'll be working. That's when I chat with my clients in Australia, UK, US, because everything is calm. Once actually everybody sleeps is when I can go on my WhatsApp.
Right, and work.
So I start chatting with all my clients because remember I left work at 10 or 9 or whatever. So now I spend time with the kids. Then now when it's calm is when I can now consistently answer, do everything, do my sketches. send all this, because by the time you're doing a sketch, you do fabric suggestions and things like that. So
Right.
it's a lot of intense work. So that even when I go to work, right? So if I'm starting work with my appointments, then at 8, 9,
Yeah.
I'm sending actual videos of the product with the lining and stuff like that. So it is, I have a very tight schedule. So even to maintain friendships becomes difficult. So friends who have been there for me for years are few and far. So I have very few friends, and I have a very small circle. My support system is mostly my husband, sometimes my siblings and my in-laws. They're very, very nice. We chat a lot. We talk at night for hours.
Nice.
Gossip.
Gossip.
So they're my support system,
Support system.
basically. So yeah, that's basically my schedule most of the times. I sleep really, really late.
No, I love that.
Yeah, or don't sleep at all. Sometimes I can do a full 48 hours no sleep. Yeah, so when I crash, I crash.
Yeah.
I black out.
Oh man, what is the one struggle something you struggled with that people don't know that you had to overcome?
I'm obsessed. First, there was a time I think I was depressed a lot, and I used to drink a lot.
Okay.
So my husband called me to order. I said, "Babe, the way you're going, something is not right. You need to ground yourself a bit more." And I really changed. For months, like for 3 months, I didn't touch a single drink, a sip, a shot, nothing.
Nice.
And then also I think I have ADHD. I like things the way I like it. I want things the way I want. Like I've taught you, I've trained you, I have shown you this a lot of times. Why are you not getting it?
Right.
And I flare up. 2 minutes, I'm done.
Right.
I'm back to, sasa tunapiga udaku ingine. Nimesahau hata nilikuwa nimekasirika.
Must be confusing.
For my team, because me, I'm a chilled person. I just want you to do what I want you to do. Focus,
Right.
you know. And I wonder why people are not, because me, I can multitask. I can do a lot of things and achieve them by myself.
Right.
So I wonder why they're not picking up, you know. But it's who they are.
Yeah.
Maybe they're just slow. It takes them time and things like that. So those are the things I struggle with, you know.
Right. No, let me not pry too much, because I'd be curious to know what will drive you to the drinking, the depression. Was it personal or work related?
It was work and personal, because you're
Okay.
wondering why are things not working in terms of work,
Right.
you know. And then my son had just gotten diagnosed with autism at 2 years, 2.5,
Right.
and then you start feeling like you failed, and you
Okay.
start questioning yourself a lot, and then you feel like you've let him down. You start questioning, and I had the best pregnancy.
Right.
It was during COVID, so there was no drinking, there was nothing. I was just eating. I was my biggest when I was pregnant. I've never, of my other kids, I wasn't that big, because I ate a lot.
Right.
I had the best labor, my CS mom. He cried immediately. So I questioned myself a lot, like, what happened? You know, why? So that was the most challenging part for me, to just accept. And it took me a while. Trust me, it took me a while. So you go to work and you're working and you're wondering why, you'd wonder why is he not sleeping early? You try and get him to sleep early, stubborn.
Right.
And to change these patterns and things like that, it's hard. You do therapies.
Right.
School alone is expensive.
Yeah.
And then you're like, but God didn't do this, so you don't, you know. For me, it's a challenge.
Right.
And he places in your lap and says, "My child, I need you to slow down. Your life is too fast. You're too busy. Slow down."
Right.
So sometimes it takes a while for you to accept certain things, and when things change in your life, and then When you get used to it, you get used to it, and then you snap out of it. Yeah, I'm really grateful for my support system. They're really nice. Hey, yo, I was going bad. Would drink in the shop with clients. I'd always do. And you think it's normal. You think, see, we're just chilling. After hours.
No.
After hours. And I used to have after hours at the shop.
At the shop.
When all the staff are gone, everybody's gone, we're just chilling. Kupiga story.
Yeah.
You think that 2-3 glasses is okay? No.
And it piles up.
And it piles up, and you keep going and you keep going.
What at that point when you're spiraling, how is your business going? Are you seeing a direct impact of you not being okay on your business?
My business was thriving.
It was thriving.
Imagine. Because now when you get home, you black out. I wake up early. So I'm not stressing myself because I'm not sleeping late. I actually slept before midnight or at midnight.
Right.
But now when I have a lot of thoughts, how do you center it?
Yeah, because I see a lot of times a direct correlation between the founder's wellness and the business. Because if you're not okay, the business gets a lot of its energy and values and culture from the founder. So that's why I asked that. Like during this time, did you observe what was happening? But
no, actually, I used to create a lot of designs that I would create today, tomorrow I've sold it. Create today, tomorrow I've sold it. Like there's one I would wear today. Like most of my garments, I would model it immediately and sell it immediately. And these are not garments, nothing was below 20K. Right. And I would sell immediately. And I would book the same like 3-4 other extra pieces.
It's very interesting because it's something we talk a lot about. Creatives get really creative when they're in a dark space. Yeah.
And like if you see the designs I used to do back then, I'm like, why am I not matching that same energy now? Like it's not there.
In Hollywood, they don't even like their stars when they're in love and okay.
And so,
because I think you relax, you chill, you want to hang out with your partner, you don't want to hang. Okay, I see that point. You and I could speak, and I think it's almost 1 hour 40 minutes we've been doing this.
Oh, wow.
and there's so much to learn from you. First of all, thank you so much for your time. I
thank
really
you
appreciate
for having
it.
me. Thank you so much.
So we're going to wrap up with a segment we call the CEO's Corner, but before that I just have to ask you this one question. What is your mantra, the one line you keep telling yourself every day that keeps you going every day?
One is stay humble.
Stay humble.
You know why? When you start seeing the level of success you're going or you're achieving, you might forget to be humble. You forget who or how you got here. So for me, humility is my number one thing. Even every day I pray to God, and one thing I never forget is keep me grounded, keep me humble. Even as I achieve everything, because for me I feel like everything I've achieved in life, because remember, I'm a self-taught fashion designer. There are people who are designing because they went to school, but they're yet to achieve the level of success that we are at. But every day God surprises me, and he gives me destiny helpers. He puts the right people, whether somebody refers me to a gig or somebody refers the right clientele to me. Every single day I'm surprised. Did I tell you I have a bottle of Amarula with my name? There's a bottle of Amarula and chocolates that I did limited edition in 2018, 2019.
Yes.
And I remember when they sent me the call, I said, you guys might be a scam. I mean, you want me to represent East Africa. You've not seen how Tanzanians make clothes?
Yeah.
They said, yeah, we did. We presented 3 other designers, and you're the only one the client liked, and we liked you.
Wow.
I was like, you're lying. Guess another thing that fell on my lap from social media. Me, I tell people, don't go to social media to gossip only. Go and do your research. Post your work. Your work.
Yeah.
Disney found me.
Wow.
Disney has my portfolio. I was contacted by an agency that does outside caravan tours for them. So they had a project in Saudi Arabia, a whole circus thing.
Right.
And I was the designer they chose to design the costumes and to design the print. I designed print for Disney. I designed the costumes, and then there's a South African guy that designed the stage. So we were in a Zoom call, and they were like, "Oh my God, we love your work." And they have a designer from a Mexican designer who now creates everything for them in Mexico. And the guy was like, "Yeah, oh my God, I love your presentation," because my presentations were so thorough and so detailed. And I had to pay somebody because I'm not a sketch illustration. I do sketch illustrations, but this guy is more detailed and he's based in Nigeria. So you see my network.
Yes.
I talk to everybody on the internet.
Right.
So I'd send this guy my entire mood board and I would do the rough sketch, then he would do a detailed one with the face, the hair, everything to make it look realistic. And I would combine all this, my inspos, with the item on a presentation. I did so well.
Right.
They took my... Disney knows about me, so come on.
Man, if there's a designer, I love how they've done the African designs and matched it with futurism is the designer from Black Panther. And you know what? On the next Black Panther, you definitely should be there. You should be one of the designers on that.
I pray that they onboard other creatives because I know she works with other creatives from different countries. Like I think they worked with the Senegalese designer who does Beyonce stuff.
Right.
So they do onboard people from other countries, but the only way your work can be well known is if your country consumes you. Yeah. Consumers.
100.
Like you see why Nigerian is popular because even the Nigerians abroad consume Nigeria. That is true. Kenyans abroad consume more Kenyan content. It doesn't have to be me, but consume more Kenyan designers. And there are a lot. There are a lot of Kenyan designers if you give them a chance. Yeah. Because most of the things we just like to say, oh, Kenyans, they don't know what they are doing. Oh, we don't need to work with these people. Oh, they don't do ABCD, ABCD. But did you give them a chance? You only gave them a snippet. Now can dismiss. I don't like what they have done. Right. But what if you spend more time and actually find out?
Wow.
You know?
Kate, thank you for just opening a snippet of who you are. And
because I don't talk about myself.
We really appreciate that. We don't take that for granted. And when your name is mentioned alongside other great African designers in future, what would you want people to say Kate contributed to this continent?
Let's say, apart from putting Kenya on the map, the main thing that I really want to go and explore further is training Kenyan designers. In terms of what impact am I giving to the market. I don't want somebody who's green, who doesn't know what they're doing from school. Yeah. What next? So for me, even my employees, my bidders and detailing people that I work with, some have education level, they dropped out of school. Right. I pick girls from Kibera, Kawangware and things like that. I love to give a chance to somebody who can hold a needle and a thread. And even if I don't take you to a physical school, I would have taught you more. And just by going anywhere and they say I worked for African Fabric, they're getting employed. Wow. Somebody who's never been to school, never gone. So if you get employees who've worked for me, please absorb them. If they say they work for me, but call me, I'll tell you if they are thieves so that you know in advance how to avoid it. Avoid because now you employ anybody just because they say they're from my brand. You don't know why they left.
That is true.
So the number one impact I want to make is just spreading the words about Kenyan fashion. Like, know us a bit more. We are not as... Because right now, like if you check the design space, the ones who are popular that people like are actually not Kenyan born. Like vile si tunaweza sema ni Mgikuyu, Masai, Mjaluo, hivyo. Napata ni Muhindi mwenye amezaliwa Kenya, ametake Kenyan born. designer. And then they're using our resources, yes, but they're thinking outside the box, which a lot of us are still not doing. But I understand that it might come from a point of not having resources. But that's why I say build your network.
Love it.
Build your network.
This last piece, part of the conversation, we have a CEO's desk over there, and these are questions from our team and from the audience.
Yeah.
So we have a couple of questions in the bowl over there.
Okay.
So you get to pick 3 questions.
Okay.
And you answer them directly to the camera.
Okay.
This is not me asking you. Sound nervous. Don't worry. They're not too scary.
Okay.
Very fun questions.
Okay.
So we have 3 different colored papers. There's yellow, there's luminous green, and there's pink. Hapo kwa colors.
Okay.
Yeah. So you just pick one color. 3 questions. Just that. Imagine.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sawa.
And then give me your feedback. What you think about the CEO's chair?
Okay.
What are you feeling about this particular couch? This particular couch, how are you feeling?
Let me chill.
So unaweza relax after the questions.
Unajua nguo iko na corset. If I can chill in a corset,
ni
let
ngumu.
me see if I can relax. It is quite comfy.
Right.
You know, I'm on the heavy side there. And sijasikia kama nimekalia mbao, so
We are good. But
it's very fluffy and soft. I love it.
What will you say about the fabric? You're good with fabrics.
I love textures. So
You
for
love
me,
texture.
this texture. And you know, in my house, I put a lot of things with texture because of my son. Because he likes texture. He has to run his hand through things. Like, if he finds this, he'll be so happy. Like, this is what he does. He likes texture all the time.
All the time. Thank you.
So I thrive in texture.
No, it's something I'm starting to learn, the importance of texture when you're designing the house.
Oh,
so,
yes.
So I've always, nowadays I'm paying attention to
Yeah.
texture. Right. Thank you. All right, okay. Join me, the CEO's desk.
Okay.
Karibu sana.
Asante.
Oops. I forgot about the mic. Does your desk and chair, is it similar to this?
No.
You're a creative.
I'm a creative.
Okay, so you create from, well, let's see.
Yeah.
That is your camera over there.
Oh, okay.
You can see it.
Hi.
Please have fun.
Okay.
Enjoy.
So I just pick?
Yeah, just pick.
Okay. So pink. What does pink say? Ooh, what is the boldest thing you have done this year? Plan my 10-year anniversary. My brand turned 10 this year. And I remember the number one thing that my loyal clients used to say, Kate, I have a wardrobe full of clothes. I need an event to wear. So I planned my 10-year anniversary. I even enlisted the planner like a few days to the event. I was that confident with what I wanted, and I knew I just needed one or few people to just help push the agenda. Booked everything, the venues, everything by myself. Then I only added the planner like a few days before. Did the collection in like 2 weeks, and it was, I think, a 30-piece collection, and put it on the runway. And I didn't tell any friends in the industry. I didn't tell anybody else in the industry. They just woke up and I said, hey, we're closed today. We're not working. And the next thing, designs on the runway, a whole production. I had my friend Amina Abdi MC for me, and my guests had the best time. I felt like I had offered my clients the value that I wanted to celebrate the 10 years with them. So yeah, that was my boldest move this year. Next, right?
All right.
The next one is yellow. If we opened the drawers in your desk right now, what would we find? Ooh. Funny thing, I'm rarely at my desk. I'm always at the consultation space. So the first thing you find at my desk are pens. My drawer, I have a lot of pens, and then The next thing is you'll find, I have swatches of fabric that I imported from India. I keep them on my desk on the first drawer, just all the time to remind myself you need to order this, the swatches, because it's been difficult getting a good shipper from India who's very reliable in terms of timelines. And then what else do I have on the drawer? I'm trying to remember because I don't remember last I sat on that desk. It should be the stamp. You know, the embossed stamp that we have for business? Yeah, that's on my top drawer. That's interesting. Never expected it. Then, ooh, if you could pick a superpower for your work, what would you choose? I would choose, my superpower would be, do I mention a character? I'm a power. Like what okay. So I'd like my superpower to be somebody who can work without getting tired, because I believe we need more than 24-hour economy. I don't see the need for sleep. Why are we sleeping? I just like working. I like seeing garments coming to life. I'm obsessed with production. I won't lie. So if I chose a superpower today, is to be able to work and not sleep and not get tired, you know, just be a working machine. I would take that in a heartbeat.
Awesome. Right. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank
That
you
was
too.
fantastic.
This was interesting.
Right. Yeah. We have a gentleman here called Moha
Oh,
from Ashley.
hi.
I'd like to present you some.
Just something small.
Oh,
Gift card. You get an extra 10% on your next purchase.
oh, thank you.
And a mug to have your coffee on.
Oh, 80 years. Wow, congrats. Thank you.
Thank you. All right. Thank you so much,
Thank
Moha.
you.
She says she loves your fabrics, Moha.
Yeah,
Thank you,
trust me, I
guys.
love fabric.
Yeah, we can wrap it up. We cut.